Rachel Zegler destroys Disney's brand and her career with her current unhinged take, and we're going to see the consequences that bring us. So welcome back to Views with Hughes, Culture and News. This is Jerome Hughes. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, as you all know, Rachel Zegler has been causing problems for 2 years straight, and it's time we really unpack everything, okay? So Rachel Zegler, yes, the same actress Rachel Zegler that Disney controversially cast as the lead in a live-action remake of Snow White, has been nothing but a massive PR disaster for the company. I'm going to share with you all the consequences that Rachel Zegler is going to have, and Rachel Zegler's behavior has gone beyond just being a nuisance. It's actively damaging the Disney's already shaky reputation, and now Rachel Zegler's latest antics may have finally pushed things too far for even Disney to ignore. Now, we're also going to get into the specifics with the consequences that Rachel Zegler may face later on in the near future, but before we go ahead and continue, be sure to smash the like button, share the video, follow across social media, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Now, Rachel Zegler's newest controversy, as you all know, stems from her response to the recent election. And instead of just staying neutral or avoiding any divisive topics, Rachel Zegler decided to go ahead and just simply double down, unleashing a barrage of inflammatory comments that's aimed at Trump supporters and even Trump himself and anyone who doesn't share her political views. This isn't just a one-off incident. Now, Rachel Zegler has a well-documented history of alienating people, but this time it's particularly egregious or crazy. And Rachel Zegler seems to think that her platform gives her the right to insult half of the country, and unsurprisingly, people are outraged, and understandably so. Now, even Megyn Kelly, as you all know, is just one of the many voices calling Rachel Zegler out for her behavior. Now, Kelly didn't even hold back, suggesting that Disney should go ahead and fire Rachel Zegler for her insane posts. And honestly, it's not even hard to, it's not even hard to agree with that, and Disney has a history of cutting ties over talent, over controversies, but Rachel Zegler seems to be an exception. And let's not forget that Gina Carano was fired for far less, and Gina Carano expressed a conservative opinion and was immediately dropped, yet Rachel Zegler can insult millions of Americans and face no real consequences. Now, the big double standard here is glaring, and Rachel Zegler's, behavior is just a prime example of how woke Hollywood protects its own so long as their politics align. Okay, now Rachel Zegler's impact on Disney's brand is huge, and Disney is supposed to be a family-friendly company, a place where people of all political backgrounds can come together and enjoy entertainment. But how does that even image hold up when you've got someone like Rachel Zegler representing your brand? Now, Rachel Zegler has made it abundantly clear that if you don't share her politics, she doesn't want you as a fan. Now, think about that for a second. Rachel Zegler, the supposed face of Disney Snow White, is telling people that she doesn't need their support if they don't agree with her. And that's not only unprofessional, that's just basically bad business right there. But Rachel Zegler's track record of alienated people isn't even new. We all know this for sure. And over the past 2 years, Rachel Zegler has made countless comments that have turned fans away. And she's even insulted Disney classics, criticized the original Snow White animated film, and dismissed loyal fans who grew up with loving Disney's iconic stories. And Rachel Zegler has shown zero respect for the legacy that she's now a part of. And it's no wonder so many people are fed up with her. And you know what? It doesn't even stop there. We got to also talk about Rachel Zegler and her recent apology, or should I say Disney's attempt to clean up her mess. Now, after her inflammatory comments about Trump supporters, Rachel Zegler just basically supposedly issued a statement apologizing for her behavior. Now, anyone who has followed, Rachel Zegler for more than just, 5 minutes can see that this particular apology wasn't really genuine. Why? Because it wasn't written by Rachel Zegler herself, or supposedly, and Rachel Zegler's social media posts are notoriously casual, where she doesn't capitalize sentences, her grammar is loose, and her tone is conversational. Now, this apology, on the other hand, was polished, formal, and even clearly drafted or crafted by Disney's PR team, and that's not even surprising at all. But let's be real here. Rachel Zegler doesn't regret what she said. Okay, Rachel Zegler doesn't care about, the fans that she insulted who may have opposed political beliefs. The damage she's done to Disney's reputation, and the apology wasn't about making amends, it was about damage control. But here's the thing, if an apology isn't sincere, it doesn't mean anything. Now, fans aren't stupid, they can see through the whole corporate PR machine and they know when someone like Rachel Zegler is just going through the motions. Now, some of you might be wondering why Rachel Zegler's behavior matters and stuff so much. I mean, after all, she's just one actress, right? Wrong. Rachel Zegler's actions are a part of a much larger issue in Hollywood. For years, the entertainment industry has been alienating its audience. That's nothing new. Even the Hollywood elites like Rachel Zegler can think that they can, lecture the rest of us, mock up our values, and then turn around and ask us to buy the tickets to their movies. And that's quite insulting, actually, and it's driving people away from the industry itself. Okay, now Rachel Zegler is a prime example of this disconnect. Okay, and Rachel Zegler doesn't even understand or doesn't even care that her success depends on the fans. Now, without the support of everyday people, Rachel Zegler doesn't even have a career. Yet Rachel Zegler continues to alienate those very people with her divisive rhetoric and even her condescending attitude, where she believes she's better than anyone else. But let's talk about Snow White for a second. Rachel Zegler's upcoming movie is already facing an uphill battle. The film's massive budget, combined with the backlash over its casting and creative direction, made it a lightning rod for controversy. And now, with Rachel Zegler's behavior drawing even more negative attention, it's actually hard to see how this particular movie will succeed. Now, Rachel Zegler is supposed to be, the face of Snow White, but instead she's become its biggest liability. Okay. And even Disney's refusal to address Rachel Zegler's behavior in a meaningful way only adds fuel to the fire. Now, compare this to how they treated Gina Carano. Now, Gina Carano was fired for expressing her conservative views that millions of Americans possibly share. But Rachel Zegler can say far worse things, and Disney just looks the other way. Now, this double standard is infuriating, and it's one of the reasons why so many people are losing trust in Disney. And that's nothing new right there. But you know what? At the end of the day, fans have the power to make their voices heard. Now, if you're tired of Rachel Zegler's antics, don't support her projects. Don't buy tickets to Snow White. Don't give Disney your money. Now, Hollywood needs a wake-up call, and they're getting one now that Trump's come back in office, and they'll get it as if audiences start voting with their wallets. Okay, now Rachel Zegler is just one example of how out of touch Hollywood has become, and the industry has a whole needs to remember who its audience is. And families, regular folks, as well as, just people just want to enjoy a good movie without being insulted or lectured to on those who are just basically want to keep Hollywood afloat. And Rachel Zegler and her Hollywood peers would do well to remember that if they want to keep it going. But Rachel Zegler's behavior is just basically one piece of a much larger puzzle. But you know what? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. If you're tired of Hollywood's double standards, do you think that Rachel Zegler Disney will ever hold Rachel Zegler accountable? But let me know what you think. But I do also want to touch up on something else, where that Rachel Zegler, basically, she does have consequences coming her way, where even though there might be some people in Hollywood that might share the same sentiments, that's basically all that she can go on and stuff. And the fact of the matter remains that there's plenty of other consequences that may come her way if she doesn't go ahead and decide to just basically change her ways and just tighten up and everything. And you know what? Even if you go after political opponents, followers and everything, there's as you all know, the public backlash where, Rachel Zegler might face consequences from the supporters and others who view comments as overly harsh or divisive. Then you also have the professional impact and stuff, where the direct professional consequences might be mitigated by the entertainment industry's, often liberal leanings and stuff with her remarks could actually affect, her chances of being like remaining as Hollywood's famous actress and getting any other, shows or any movies. Then there's also the brand associations where Rachel Zegler may have or may not have, but may never get thanks to her mouth. And then also the social media platform actions, as you are seeing on X, where she just went on ahead to talk about free Palestine and everything. And that like had a lot of people upset by that too. Then there's also, the personal impact where she may not really get a leading role in the future. She may have to get a supporting role. And then there's also legal ramifications where your comments can have some explicit threats and stuff, and there's a remote possibility that somebody may take some legal action out against Rachel Zegler. And then there's also media scrutiny where like the increased scrutiny from media could follow, just like stated from Megyn Kelly and stuff. And with every move that, could potentially be viewed by others on Rachel Zegler, through the lens of political statements, possibly overshadowing the work of Rachel Zegler. So like I said, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have on this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I said in this video, go ahead, smash like and share this video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.